Hey guys, welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local light worker, and I'm very happy to be bringing you another edition of our midnight sessions. So I've been filming at nighttime, guys. This is mostly because it's like 1,000,000 degrees in the place in which I live at the moment. And I just feel like it's more quiet, it's more subdued at nighttime. There are a lot of families and children playing around outside during the day, so I prefer to write during the day, and at nighttime I really like it when it's so still and quiet and I can tune into and provide you hopefully with good quality readings. So hello new subscribers, hello returning subscribers. I hope you feel happy here. I hope you feel safe, nurtured and comforted. A couple of you actually told me that while you're listening to my readings, you're taking notes. So I hope I'm not going to be too self-conscious, because right now you guys made me be a bit too self-aware of what I'm saying to you. I hope that, you're not gonna, I'm not going to mislead you and you're not gonna take down bizarre information that I share with you. Always check your facts, guys, okay? So double check whatever it is that you hear in my readings. I wouldn't advise you otherwise. So today is going to be a special reading. I felt very called to do it. Actually, I want to begin a new love series for you guys, but I feel like I can't start the love series if I don't do this reading. This is going to be how can you heal your relationship with your mother. This is a really lovely topic, very difficult as well, especially for if you're like me and you have your moon conjunct Saturn, moon conjunct Uranus, or moon conjunct Pluto. We know that not everyone is given a nurturing, loving and kind mother, an accepting mother. So let's get into this. Let's dive deep. Let's find out what does the universe have to say, or spirit has to say, regarding, first of all, how is your relationship with your mom? So I'm going to be using the wisdom of the oracle and the Muse Tarot to diagnose your relationship with your mother. Then in the second part of the reading, I will be giving you some advice from the Divine Feminine Oracle and from the Work Your Light deck. Sorry, this is not Work Your Light. I always keep saying Work Your Light. This is the Secret Language of Light deck. To me, as a light worker, these two decks are kind of like blended in my head. Bizarre. So I'll be using these two separate oracle decks to try to give you the wise nugget that you're supposed to extract from your relationship with your mother. Nugget, I think it's putting it a bit too small. It's more like, what is the wise theme? What is the overall lesson that you need to learn from your relationship with your mother, if your relationship with your mother really is a difficult one? Because keep in mind, I might also divinate for those of you that have very warm, cozy, loving relationships. But I think you clicked on this video because most of you might not find yourself in such relationships. So I aim to give you support and to read in your service. And then finally, I want to give you some advice for yourself at the moment. So here is the Super Attractor Affirmations Oracle that was donated to me. Thank you so much, my lovely subscribers, the ones that donate and the ones that participate, the ones that comment. Actually, all of you. What am I saying? I'll see myself out of the room right now. No, guys, I love you all. It's just that those of you that donate have a special place in my heart because your donations help me provide further interesting readings for the rest of you. So yeah, if you help me, I'm able to help you even more. So thank you guys so much. I'm actually feeling really calm and chill. It's been a while since I've been feeling like this. It's been a very long day and I spent most of it in the sun. So I'm very grateful for that fact. I hope that right now I'm charged up and I'm able to proceed with this reading for you. You have 4 options today. So I'm going to show you the options, and then for those of you that are a bit particular, I will also show you an image with your options so you can pause it and meditate on which option you are drawn to the most. So we have here a Jade Angel for option 1. And then we have here Cupid, or a small baby boy angel with a tiny heart. Then we have for option 3, this Galaxy Stone Dark Angel. Don't know if you can see it, but it's actually really dark blue with speckles on it. It's gorgeous. And then finally, for group 4, we have this tiny turquoise owl, symbol of wisdom and Lakshmi. Okay, so I'll show you a picture in a second. Let's begin with pile 1. Hello, this is for those of you that were drawn to the Jade Angel. So, I've been editing my videos so much lately, guys. I've been very self-conscious, but I've just realized today I have nothing to be self-conscious about. So I'm going to take a much more relaxed approach, and I just want to press play and record, and whatever silly things I say or silly things I do, I'm just going to accept them and take them in my stride. This is also doing these readings for you guys is a work of self-development for me as well. Whatever I read for you and might help you and heal you also helps and heals me. So let's see. I'm going to pull from the Muse Tarot now. While I shuffle, feel free to have a look in the description box. There are loads of goodies for you there. I also partner up with Visio, so if you want to get short personalized messages from me, feel free to do that as well. There is a link below. It will tell you everything you need to know, and plenty of goodies down there as well as I shuffle your cards. Okay, so I got your first group. Bear with me, there are a lot of decks I'm using, but I want to give you as much information as possible, okay? So I really want to inspire you with this. Okay, feel free to follow me on Instagram as well at msbontam. I really don't like advertising myself. I don't like saying these things, but I also don't want you to be tired or bored while I'm doing these things, while I'm shuffling your cards. Okay, you got a lot of messages, so that's what I'm gonna say right off the bat. Okay, so for group 1, the Jade Angel. Oh. I really hope you guys are doing good wherever you find yourself in the world. 2020 is difficult for a lot of us, but I'm sending you so much light. Okay, so are you ready? Let's dive into your relationship with your mother. So you got the Queen of Materials. This is also the Queen of Pentacles. Then we have the Priestess, or the High Priestess. Then we have here number 10, Unfinished Symphony. And I'm going to show you as well the cards that you got for the advice. So what is the lesson that you need to learn from your relationship with your mother? And we have here Catherine Labour, or Laboure, the Patroness of Miraculous Healing. Her affirmations are, I am ready to heal. Perfect. I am worthy of the miracles meant for me. You also got number 4, Authentic Truth. And the final affirmations that I have for you. So advice for your current present situation, not for the overall relationship with your mother, is directing your focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. So directing your focus onto what's thriving creates more of what you want. You also got the Falcon. Use your keen perception and skill in making decisions. Do not delay. And we've got the Robin. New growth and potential is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. So I feel like your mother could have been a very bossy type. I feel like this is a person that takes a lot of charge and loves to organize, especially material resources. I'm going to share a personal story with you guys, but this this image reminds me of, well, a person that I had very dear and close to my heart for a while, my friend Patti. And I don't know, it's like her stance is so much like Patti's spirit. I think that your mother potentially could have been a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Why did I say could have been? I think this is the pile that could have lost a mother recently or in the last couple of years. So for some of you already the reading is branching out. I'm going to go with it. For some of you, you might have recently lost your mother and you're here precisely because of that. Maybe there were some words left unsaid. Maybe you wanted to give her another cuddle before she went away. But for others of you, your mothers are still very well and alive. And I feel that for both groups, predominantly, your mothers are earth signs, or they carry a very strong earth imprint. They could have had some sort of like a very strong Capricorn ascendant or Virgo ascendant, or maybe Saturn on the ascendant or Mercury links. So apply it very widely, but I do see here earth energy, right? Grounding, stability, a focus on material aspects. This was a mother that might have swayed you in the direction of don't become a penniless painter, okay? Don't waste your time on astrology or the occult. That's not going to earn you money. Become a lawyer, become a doctor, you know, be bold, be brave, stand up for your rights, dress well, eat well. You know your worth. Always ask for your worth from other men or from other women, from partners in general. So this was a mother that also showed love through gifts. So I think that she was quite strict with you in the sense that you had a very pre-established schedule. Like you always knew when dinner was on, you always knew when you had to appear at family functions, so to say. This could have been also a slightly religious person as well. I'm getting like that Sunday prayer kind of atmosphere. It's a person with very high morals. This was not a mom that you could joke around with or share with her your deepest secrets. I mean, she could have been very sensual and very loving. This is a person, a mother that expresses her feelings through touch, not very talkative or vocal. But this is a person that might have been quite sarcastic or very blunt about what she accepted in terms of your professional path. This was a mother that, or is a mother, I'm still feeling very strongly how, thinking, see, it's like the divide already. Ooh. So I feel that for a lot of you, this mother emphasized reason above anything else, reason and composure, confirming, sticking to tradition, not stepping out of your league, being modest, but also being modest at home in the family, but being proud in your work and your social status. This is a mother that is a lot about whatever happens in the family and is a little bit shameful is hush hush. Nobody needs to know. Save face. Family comes first. You do not wash your clothes in the public. Very concerned with social status, with how things look in the eyes of the public. She could have had a very, or she has a very, I'm getting pulled back in the past for a lot of you. I think for some of you as well, you might not be talking to this mother. And this is why I feel like it's almost like she's in the past for some of you. So again, some of you are talking to your mother, but you're not very emotionally close. You know your duties. You know when to go to your home. You know what to do to keep your mom happy. There is a pre-established schedule or pattern, but there is no emotional involvement, mostly because I think this mother taught you how to repress it. It's more about be strong, be strong, look good, earn good money. That's kind of like, I feel like these were the unconscious messages that your mother conveyed to you. So I feel that you're very secretive about your emotional world. If you are into the occult, if you are into exploring your sexuality, being more open-minded, your mother doesn't know this about you. So there is a side of yourself that you're hiding. Some of you could be quite okay with not exploring out there things, but there is still, I feel like for a lot of you, I feel like this heart chakra kind of pressure, there is still a little bit of chagrin, you know, like sadness, like deep sadness, with kind of melancholic sadness, that you might have wanted her to understand you more, to talk to you more, and not be so moral or so decisive in her opinions. Especially if you guys have a Taurus mother, very beautiful, but very stubborn, like she will not negotiate with you, you know. And if you are an air sign, for example, you might have loved your mother and have a very strong connection with her, but it's like she won't be able to understand or accept the maverick in you, the pioneer, the rebel, right? The social justice defender. She might be able to support you if you follow a very traditional path, like being a rebel, but being backed up by academia or a large university or like an impressive body. I feel like your mother is really into that social status thing. And I feel that this could have been a bone of contention in your relationship with her. Now, the other cards, as I was pulling them out, especially the last 3 messages that I got for you here, they just gave me this feeling that it's like your intuition was blocked for a very long time because your mother taught you how to repress your emotions, how to not give in to them, how to control them, how to not allow yourself to be overwhelmed by them. I feel like you learned how to pragmatically deal with your feelings. So some of you could eat or overeat. Some of you could get belly aches, and it's kind of like you're processing your feelings through your body rather than through speaking about them or through simply feeling them, allowing yourself to feel them. I think that a lot of you could be more comfortable talking to a therapist or a counselor or your best friend about your feelings, but it takes a while to get you to warm up. I feel like there needs to be kind of like a confessional atmosphere for you to genuinely open up. I feel like it's a work in progress as well. With Unfinished Symphony, in your relationship with your mother, there are a lot of things left unsaid. There are a lot of moments when you were very close to telling her how you truly feel about her and about your relationship to her, but you held back. You didn't want to offend her. You knew that if you said something, she would just bulldoze you over with her very strong opinions, okay? This is a woman that knows her worth, but at the same time, she would benefit from being more empathic, you know? She would benefit from an infusion of feelings. I feel like she's quite afraid of feelings. I feel like she thinks that feelings are for artists and artists are penniless, therefore what's the point, you know? I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh, but I do get a feeling that for some of you, especially those of you that are well off, this could be the kind of prototypical mother that looks very good at a very older age and kind of has always a drink in her hand as she's talking to her business associates or to your father's business associates. I feel that for some of you, you're quite well off, or you are relatively okay. You know, you don't struggle so much. You don't think so much about material needs because your mother and father did such an excellent job at providing you with that. There is an over focus on that. It's like sometimes you just wish you could get a breather, you know, from all the stifling traditions, from all of the you need to be, you know, at dinner at 9 p.m. and you need to use the proper cutlery, you know, and you need to not overspeak or underspeak. There always needs to be a balance, and you need to only eat as much as it makes you healthy, and not too much, but not too little, you know. So I think that especially for those of you that have mothers that are Virgo suns, I think that you're aware of this dynamic, right? Of always your mother always fidgeting to make things perfect, and thereby taking a lot longer than you expected to finish tasks that other people would finish like this, like an Aries mom would finish like this in a second. But then again, it wouldn't come as perfect as a Virgo mom, right? So yeah, for those of you that lost your mom, you have a lot of regrets regarding you know, you wanted to tell her how you feel. You wanted to have that open-hearted conversation, that honest conversation, but it didn't happen. For those of you that had a very drastic quarrel with her and you decided to pull back and not talk to her anymore, there is that pent-up emotion there that needs to come up at one point. And I think that there must have been a rift that is so important between you and her that it's almost like only a marriage, or you know, you getting pregnant and coming to tell her the big news would be something that would help you guys reconnect. It's not going to be something like, you know, I actually thought about it and I decided to open my heart up to you. Will you forgive me? Should I forgive you? Because as I said, this is not a mother that you can talk to about feelings. This is a mother that would rather just know if you earn enough, if you eat enough, you know, very pragmatic mother, almost to the point like she might be insensitive, you know. And this is the healing part. So I feel like I said what I could see about your relationship to your mother. If this doesn't resonate for you, it doesn't have to, okay? Not all of the messages have to resonate with you guys. Feel free to choose another pile. I have 4 of them in this reading. But I'm sure that I will resonate with those of you that it needs to resonate, okay? I have a feeling that when you're pulled into my energy and you listen to my readings, it's meant to be. So let's talk about these 2 cards, because these are the 2 most powerful cards in your reading. So we have here Catherine Labouré, the patroness of miraculous healing. This is so beautiful because her affirmations are, I am ready for healing. And I'm ready to heal as well. So I do feel that, and I did not misspeak there, I feel like a couple of you could actually be doing healing work. So I feel like you could genuinely try to help other people mend their relationship with their parents or with their mothers. Some of you could be psychologists, therapists, or studying to become so. Some of you could be Wicca practitioners, healers, astrologers. I do know that a lot of tarot readers seem to follow me for some reason, and I'm very grateful for that. You're teaching me, and hopefully I'm helping you learn something new as well. So there is a sense here that by healing others, you can heal yourself, but there is almost like a Chiron energy with you. It's like there is never enough to heal you completely. It's like you always need to heal more and help other people more and serve them even better in order to feel that emotional, it's not emptiness because you are filled with emotion. It's more like in order to find an outlet for your emotions, but you do communicate to others in relationships from this well of emotions that are filtered through reason. So this is why I think that many of you could be counselors, therapists, guides, coaches, yourself. It's hard to just let go and be authentic, even though this is what your heart craves the most, to be fully accepted by your mother, to be fully seen by her as well. So I think that the majority of you that have picked this group are either strong water signs, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or strong air signs, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. And I do feel that, especially with the High Priestess here, you guys have an extraordinary intuition. You could be, starseeds, light workers. You could have extrasensorial capacities as well. But you would never, never share this with your mother because you would think that she will think about you that you are insane or that you need some sort of treatment or this is, something childish, you need to come back with your feet on the ground, okay? Come back to reality. Food matters, money matter, a house, a roof over your head, this is what matters. So it's like there is a part of yourself that you will never be able to understand, or at least this is how you're feeling. And I do think that this is a part that you've learned in relation to her to hide from other people as well. So you might find it difficult to be fully authentic. And this is mostly because our relationships to our mother are the most emotionally intense relationships we will ever experience with anyone else. First of all, they're the first relationship. I know our fathers are important as well. I've written a book about that. But it's primarily that connection with a being that, you know, you existed inside of her body, and she's feeding you. And she's nurturing you, not only feeding you, but nurturing you emotionally, or so they tell me that they should. So there is this sense here, you know, emotional nurturing, physical nurturing, but it's also this acceptance, you know, a mother's positive regard. When a mother looks at you with this unconditional love and acceptance, you can grow beautifully, almost like these beautiful sunflowers that I got here. You grow, you expand, right? It's like your confidence is like, yeah, I can do anything, because you know somebody loves you. You have a secure base. But I do think that in this case, although you might have felt loved by your mother, you never felt fully accepted and understood. So there was this sense of conditional love. And Catherine Labouré is here to let you know that you are whole and you deserve to be loved. And if your mother was not able to see this other beautiful, intuitive side of yourself, that doesn't mean that this is the end of the story. It's an unfinished symphony. And it's up to you, as the great conductor of the orchestra, to continue writing it. But not in the relationship with your mother, because I am getting the feeling like it's almost like a wall for a lot of you. This could have been a karmic connection. Maybe you have some very strong Saturn links. Your son is in Taurus and your mother has a Saturn in Taurus, or the other way around. So I do think that you're meant to just go through this karma. The way in which your mother behaved with you was meant to help you awaken to this part of yourself that you might not have otherwise been aware of, paradoxically, right? So this force of opposition was created, where your mother just drilled into you this obsession with materialism almost. That's kind of, I feel like, a very heavy like focus on money and material goods and everything you can touch, feel, see, sense, smell, but nothing about the imagination. And you are fully imaginative, okay? So I do feel that this is the karmic lesson. This is the obstacle. You realizing that, hey, you know what? Both material and imaginative matter. I need to balance both, and I need to express myself to people in my life with both of these sides. You've been keeping it repressed for a very long time. The card of authentic truth is here to let you know that you can speak this out. And this will mean that you'll attract people that are different than your mother, because the more you stay in this energy of, oh, I've learned unconsciously, this was the unconscious pattern that I've adopted in my relationship with my mom, that I shouldn't show people my crazy side, my non-money making side. And you've repressed it for a long time, and it can manifest into your shadow. So be careful with that. It's much better if you just let it out and express itself, and you'll see that you will attract people that are very different from your mother, and that will be part of your healing. First, realizing that you can combine both the material and the imaginative, the creative, the occult, whatever you want to call it. You combine both of these aspects of yourself. That's the first step in the healing, the awareness and the self-acceptance. And then attracting people that see this in you, that mirror this back, and that will be like a healing mirror effect. And this is it. This is like directing your focus, shifting your focus on seeing yourself as a whole. If your mother caused a deep wound within your identity by seeing only half of you and insisting only on that half, on loving that half that is productive, that is socially impressive, then it's really, really important for you to acknowledge this other side of yourself. Yes, I am also a great scholar, and I don't know, a great researcher, a doctor, an imposing figure, because this is how my parents raised me to be. But I'm also this imaginative, intuitive, loving person. And it's time for me to focus on this. It's time for you as well to thrive, not only to survive, but to thrive, to see yourself whole and complete, and to express yourself as a whole and complete being with all the contradictions, you know? Some of you are under the impression that you have to be perfect. But you have to keep in mind, I was just rereading the affirmation, that you are worthy of miracles. This is something else I have to remind myself. You are worthy of miracles. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of being seen, fully understood and accepted with all your craziness or whatever you want to call it. It's not craziness, but I feel a lot of you have been taught to think of yourself on those terms. Crazy, weird, you know. You don't want to be an outcast. You don't want to be socially excluded, you know. So keep those things neatly tucked within yourself. But how can you hide who it is you really are when you live that, you breathe that, you think that, you feel that every day? I mean, imagine the tremendous effort you've been putting up. Some of you have been putting up this tremendous effort to hide that. I feel a lot of you, and I think this applies to the majority that chose this group, you were able to express this side, but with your close friends only, maybe 1 or 2 persons max. You were able to show the side to them. And that's what gave you this confidence, this inner strength. So some of you are further down the line of self-acceptance and being whole. It's just like you're playing a game. In front of your mother, you're like, yes, mom, you taught me to be like that, you know. You hide that side. And when you're with your friends, or when you are, maybe you live in a different city than your parents, it's kind of like you can be yourself fully. You can be both imaginative and also, you know, earning the money. And, you know, you can be quite rational and have your facts right, but at the same time, you can be quite intuitive. So I think some of you are further along on your healing path and you're more playful, because that's what happens. As we heal, we become more playful. But some of you are just waking up to this. So a smaller group from the overall group that chose this reading are just waking up to this realization. So it's like packing a punch. And you're kind of, some of you could be freaking out. It's like, oh my God, what do I do? Do I need to push my mother away? No, this is all about inner work, okay? This is all about how you accept yourself first. And then, as I said, it's about attracting people that see that in your life. But your relationship with your mother will just carry this energetic imprint that you've had from the beginning. She is the Queen of Pentacles. She is the most material, the most stable, and the most stubborn queen in the whole of the minor arcana. So I don't think there is much you can change about her. You can't change Earth, and especially if your mother is a Taurus, try changing fixed Earth, okay? Good luck with that. You need to create a massive earthquake for that, and I don't think you or her are up for that. I don't think you're up for genuinely harming your mother. I think this is more about you coming up to the realization of who you are and expressing this. So, once again, I am ready to heal, and I am worthy of the miracles that are meant for me. It's really, really important to keep this in mind. And again, use your keen perception and skills in making decisions. Do not delay. So tap into that intuition, tap into your emotions. I feel a lot of you are splintered in your capacity to make decisions because you overthink things, because this is what your mother valued in you, your reason, and how clever you are, and how adequate you can speak, and how polite you are. But you need to get into your emotions, into that kind of energy, you know. And if something makes you angry, speak up, let people know. If something makes you like super happy and like, oh, I just want more of that, tell that person that you want more of them, or more of that project, or more of that delicious meal, or more of that dance, whatever it is that gives you pleasure. Enjoy it. Give in to your feelings more often than you were able to do so in the past, and I promise you, you won't regret it. And finally, new growth is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. Yeah, I kind of feel that, you know, the Depeche Mode thing, reach out and touch faith. This is kind of what I want to leave you with. I hope you found some meaning, some healing in this reading. I personally feel that it was very beautiful. And I think this is a situation that, as I said, you can't change that much about your mother. So it's futile to try to change her, but it's all about self-acceptance and attracting better people into your life that are able to see you for the beautiful pearl that you are. Okay, group 1, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye, my loves. Okay, so hello, group 2. This is for those of you that were drawn to Cupid, and it's bright white material, light, whatever you want to call it. Feeling super chill tonight, guys. It's also like, as I said in the introduction, if you skipped over it, it's like 1,000,000 degrees here. So I prefer to do these readings at nighttime. It's also more quiet, so I'm able to tune into the energies and I'm better able to ground myself. I think that would be the correct word. Okay, so let me begin shuffling your cards. I have so many things on this table. That's why I keep trying to locate where they are. You got a lot of cards, so I'm just going to pick the one that came on top. We do not have time for all of them, as much as I would love to hang out with you longer. I do need to sleep at one point. Okay. Your cards are coming out erratically. This is already kind of, yeah. There is a sense here of erratic destruction. I'm already kind of tuning into this. I'm getting a very strong Uranus relationship with the mother. A mother that came in and out, intense, and then pushed out again. There she goes, fulfilling her goals, identity, finding herself. A mother that would always multitask and leave you under the care of other people. But a mother that was forward thinking. As I said this, I looked at the Aligator card that fell out. Very strong Aquarius vibe. So you could have had an Aquarius mom, or your moon could be in Aquarius, or moon conjunct Uranus. So you perceived your mom in this way. Because there is a difference, guys. There is a difference between how our mothers really are and their astrological chart, and how we perceive them based on the aspects that their astrological chart makes to our own astrological chart. So this is why if you have a sibling, your sibling is going to perceive your mother in a completely different light than you, because your sibling will have different placements than you, unless they are a twin. But even then, comes into play the ascendant, which might be different if you guys are born at a certain period of time in between. Okay, so let me show you the cards that you got. We have here the Empress, the Ten of Voices. So this is the Ten of Swords. Then we have a fork in the road. Yeah, I'm getting so strongly this energy of flooding you with love and then pulling it back. And then we have here Aligator, the joy permitted mother. We have here, I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. And I think that is applicable both to your energy and to your mother. I'll explain in a second. Then we have here sensitivity. And so the first 3 cards were about your relationship to your mother. The second 2 cards, these ones, were about the lesson that you need to learn from your relationship to your mother. And the final 2, and I felt the throat chakra clenching, difficult expressing yourself. And the final 2 cards are about what kind of advice you need to know from spirit to handle your current situation. So what I have here for you is the Finch. New opportunities and choices are opening to you now. Claim them. And we also have here, I'm in awe of the magnificent guidance that is available to me. And if I'm able to contribute to that, yay! I'm super happy. Okay, so as I said, I do feel like your mother, for some of you, could be quite the person This could be, I'm not sure if you have a famous mother, but maybe famous in your local community. This could be a judge, a professor, a business owner, a religious leader. I know that certain cultures are okay with women taking the lead. What am I getting here? This could be a mother that travels all over the world to promote her business. Yeah, definitely. A couple of you have mothers that are academics, so they need to travel for conferences or research. They might have taken you with her on, you know, a trip to Madagascar, a trip to Mexico, a trip to Japan. Why not, you know? But again, I am getting the strong feeling that there is a lot of mental energy here. So your mother could have had always a very preoccupied mind. So you felt like there was never enough space for you and, you know, taking care of your basic needs. I'm not saying that your mother neglected you per se. In some cases, it could have happened, like basic neglect, like forgetting to feed you, forgetting to take you to school. But I do feel like your mother is very good at delegating. So I think that whenever she couldn't handle you, there was always someone else that could step in. So I feel like your mother is this kind of very popular person. She has loads of friends in many different places, many different professions, and she makes use of that. It's like, I do think a part of you always wonder whether she's making these friends just to help fulfill a lot of her needs, that instead of owning them herself, she's kind of like delegating them to other people, you know? I do think like your mother, and especially if she's Aquarius or you perceive her as an Aquarius kind of energy, you know, Aquarians don't really have a very strong sense of ego. They are the opposite of Leo. So they're a lot about, you know, trying to escape their sense of self. They're not very comfortable talking too much about themselves. And if they do, you will feel that it's almost like they have a splintered sense of self. It's a sense of self that always kind of shapes itself based on the new awareness that they brought into their existence. They're constantly being shocked into new awareness. They are the most mental sign of them all, right? It's concentrated air, fixed air. Imagine fixed air. This is like a blanket of clouds looming above you before a storm. So I feel like your mother was light and heavy at the same time. She could have been very dramatic and emotional, but also very rational and very like, you know, being able to intellectualize her feelings immediately as she had them. So there was a constant, almost like a bipolar air about her. But, you know, we use this term very freely, but in reality, it actually does refer to a very serious mental health issue. But that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, okay? Without disrespecting anyone that might suffer from that affliction. There is the sense of a game of hot and cold taken a little bit to the extreme. Some of you could have had a mother that had some mental health issues. With the Ten of Voices, this is overthinking to the point of you're dead, you're done. You know, it's like you've taken one thought and you've decapitated it with how much you analyzed it. You know, you've exhausted yourself, you've exhausted everyone else around you. And especially this could be the case if your mother is an academic. So indeed, if, you know, she thinks for a living, imagine that, you know, it's constant mental chatter, constant mental energy. I'm not stereotyping academics in any way, but a lot of them do live primarily in their minds. It's the profession, right? The professional habitus. So I do feel that you had this feeling that you were best friends with your mom 1 second, and then something happened and it's like she wasn't there, she wasn't available. And I feel like many times you had to either call her friends or rely on the help of other relatives. There was a fork in the road, right? There was something that just stopped those moments of bliss. It's almost like I'm getting this image of Zeus, you know, throwing one of his thunders. So it's kind of like enough, you know, to calm the other gods that were quarreling. I feel like your mother would never dwell on more than one feeling at a time, and she would experience a feeling very strongly, very dramatically, and then she would make fun of it or she would completely detach. It's like, oh, I'm so angry right now, and then, oh, interesting. I have that kind of feeling. Yeah, okay, let's move on. I need to do some fact checking now. So it's kind of like that kind of a vibe that I'm getting from your mother. So this taught you that life is unpredictable. And especially relationships with people are unpredictable. You expect the unexpected all of the time in your relationship. So you might find it very difficult to get very close to someone who is very stable. It's like you're out of your comfort zone. What does it mean to have somebody that is always there, always replies, is always emotionally available? You haven't learned this in your relationship with your mother, so why would you be able to accept that in your life? So there is something here about working through this kind of zigzaggy energy that your mother accustomed you to ever since you were very small. So this is part of your unconscious. Maybe some of you are not even conscious of this. You always felt that there was something weird about your connection to your mom, or your mom was always a little bit weird, in spite of the fact that she might be a public figure. I mean, the Empress, she's the Queen of Queens, right? She might be known, she might be important in some way. So in spite of that very great public image, it's kind of like your relationship with her felt like, it's like, I love you, but do you love me? I mean, do you care? I mean, wow, oh, wow, you care. Oh, you're not here. Where's mom? I need mom. Oh, mom is here. Wow, she brought me all these gifts and surprises from Japan. Oh, she has to leave again. Great. Who am I staying with this week? That kind of relationship, right? But she was never very heavy. She was never telling you what to do. So you also learned how to be free, how to be independent from a very young age. So I think this was the gift that your mother gave you. First of all, a ridiculous sensitivity to people's mood changes, and it's kind of like an openness to the unexpected, a belief that spontaneity should be the core of your of the way in which you relate to other people. I wanted to say of your intimate relationships, but I think this applies to your friendships as well. I feel like you're quite goofy and innovative and weird in connection to other people, and people love that about you. This is what you've learned from your mother. So if she was an Aquarius sun, you've kind of internalized this Aquarius energy within you, which makes it very difficult, as I said from the beginning, for you to partner up with somebody that is a bit more stable. You might find that boring or unstimulating enough. You are very sensitive though, right? I'm getting a feeling like the English rose, which is kind of the epitome of like beauty and empathy in the English culture. So I do feel that you are quite elegant and sensitive, and a lot of you could be very beautiful. You might take up after your mom, right? I feel like your mom could be a very beautiful woman. Even in an old age, I feel like she still gets a lot of compliments, because I think she also takes very good care of herself. And there might be some reproaches there that she's taking better care of herself than she's taking care of you, that she's more obsessed with her work than she is able to spend time with you. So there might be some grudges there that build up. But at the same time, your mom is pretty awesome, so you can't hold a big grudge for long against her. I do feel like she taught you a lot of things. Maybe when you were small, they were quite traumatic. But as you grew older, you realized, actually my mom was pretty awesome, actually I learned how to be independent and free from my mom. My mom actually taught me how to take care of myself by not taking that great care of myself. Wow, So from a very young age, you could have been skilled way beyond your years because you had to take care of yourself. And I feel like you're also very sociable and very good with people because you had to talk to relatives, to friends of your mother from a very young age. So your mother taught you a lot of important survival life skills, but also social skills. So in spite of the fact that emotionally you could be a little bit like, ooh, should I attach this person? Maybe I should detach. Maybe I attach, maybe I detach. You're kind of like spontaneous. And you might not know this about yourself, but this is what I see. I see that partners could perceive you in the same way in which you perceived your mother, because that's your shadow. That's what you internalize from your mother. And in our shadow, we store a lot of different things. It's not just our relationship with our mother, but it's our father, our friends, what we kind of went through singularly through our own decisions and actions in life. So in terms of the maternal side of your shadow, I do feel that you've internalized this kind of electric, detached, attached kind of energy. So keep that in mind. If you're wondering what is going wrong in your connections, it is potentially that partners see you as a little bit fickle, like you might come across as very loving 1 second and pull back the other moment. And for you, it's normal. It's like, why would you get upset on me for that? But for your partner, it's like, oh, she lost interest, or oh, why is she behaving so hot and cold, you know? So take this as you wish. If it doesn't resonate, this is not your reading. Feel free to choose one of the other piles, and keep in mind, not everything has to resonate, guys, okay? So I do feel compelled to say what I'm seeing in these cards. So overall, I do think that there is a sense that you want to create some stability within you, but at the same time, you do enjoy your freedom and you want to continue to grow and open up, and kind of like, it's like you took it upon yourself to want to be this traveler, this explorer, this risk taker, this person that has lots of experiences in life. A lot of you could be Sagittarians as well. So one side of you really appreciated the joyfulness of the freedom that your mother has given you. But some of you, the more sensitive introverted types, would have appreciated more alone time with your mom, nurturing you, just getting to know one another, just nurturing each other. I mean, the situation is not as dramatic as with the first pile. I do feel that this can be saved. You know, I feel like your mother is a very communicative person. It's just a question of giving her an offer that interests her. So maybe join her on a trip, you know, maybe, I know it's difficult. You've been doing things on her terms for a very long time. But I do think that she's open to communication. She's open to sharing time with you. It's just the busyness of her life. I do feel that you guys are the group with very busy mothers, and it's finding a way to kind of insert yourself into her schedule by, you know, tempting her with a great offer, spa day in the Caribbean together, you know, or you're going to Japan for a research trip. I'm tagging along, mom. So things like that, you know, that's kind of the approach I'm seeing here with you. I think some of you could be artists, cartoon drawers. I don't know why, like you could be into drawing professionally. You could be designing t-shirts, making jewelry. That's kind of what I'm getting as well. So it's really important, you know, you kind of grew up with a mom that could have been very philosophically inclined. And she kind of taught you how to become your own guru as well. And the second affirmation was, I know the self that never changes. So in spite of all the changes, losses, kind of weird situation that you've been having with your mom, you know, this kind of never knowing what to rely on, you know, maybe there were a lot of relocations, maybe there were a lot of job changes, maybe your mom decided on several different partners, you know, so you had a dad and a stepdad, you know, so on and so forth. But in spite of all these changes, and even if you enjoyed to a certain extent your freedom and the spontaneity that emerged out of it, I feel like there is something deep in you that will not change, and you know that, and you've been able to tune into that more recently, and you know that you can create stability if you want to, but in the meantime you're just having fun because you are in awe of the magnificent guidance that is available to you. I feel like for a lot of you, you need to let go of the fear of fully giving into this impulse to travel, to explore, to be spontaneous. To learn from your connections with other people, not just have them on a kind of polite yet superficial kind of way. Get deeper, you know? Yeah, allow people to see you as being a little bit fickle. So what? We're not perfect. That doesn't mean that we're less lovable, right? And just go with it. I feel like this is all about, you know, heart chakra energy combined with the crown chakra energy. So it's kind of like, a couple of you could be into going to yoga retreats, maybe exploring the more philosophical aspects of life. Maybe some of you actually went for a profession that is quite sensorial and pragmatic. That's why I see drawing and creating objects and selling objects more than philosophical explorations of the mind, primarily because your mother was such an intense thinker, and it's like, nah, I'd rather do something different. But maybe the way, if you want to work on your relationship with your mom and heal that part of yourself that wants to spend more time with her, because this is the main wound that I see, you feeling like your mom prioritizes you. So if you want to do that, you can take charge and just go on a yoga retreat with her or a writing retreat with her. Find a way in which you can compromise by both doing something she likes and you like as well. Maybe a retreat where you get to create jewelry or draw, and she gets to have really interesting philosophical discussions about the meaning of life and the nature of reality and the teachings of Lao Tzu, for example, and the Tao. So I think that, you know, this is actually quite a beautiful energy. I don't see that much. I mean, I don't want to misspeak, very conscious of it, because I do feel that for some of you, all of these changes could have been very traumatic, and it's like, enough is enough. I want to build stability. But for most of you, what I've just said previously applies very strongly, because I do feel that some of you just got into it. You got into the playfulness of it. And you understood that your mom was mainly teaching you how to find joy in every second, how to live life to the fullest, how to not be so tied down or bogged down by expectations of maybe doing the same thing every day. So this is a very different mom than the group number one's mom that was very traditional and moral and kind of like established in her routine. This is a mother that, in spite of the Empress here, I do see this as a strongly Aquarius card. It's more of a rebel, like a whistleblower, a journalist that is quite intense, like even a war zone correspondent. This is a woman that shakes and moves things around. And you might have dimmed your own light because you thought, well, I will never compare to my mom, so what's the point? But it's really important to keep in mind that, you know, you are part of her, but like the better version of her, right? Children are always better versions of ourselves, because it's like your mother's genetic material, another partner's genetic material, or your father's genetic material, and they create you. So you're kind of like the best of both worlds, if that makes sense. I do feel like I need to stop your reading here. Keep this in mind, yeah? Lots of different opportunities will open up in your life, and I think it's only up to you to not kind of block yourself, not put this fork in the road. Maybe a lot of you were accustomed for something unexpectedly weird or traumatic to happen, especially when you were going with it and having lots of fun. But that was in the past. That was just a karmic residue that you had to pay up in your childhood potentially. So be careful. Don't let your mind work as a fork in the road right about this period, when I feel for most of you, the best way in which you can heal your connection to your mom is to just enjoy life, have fun, be spontaneous. Realize that it's not that your mother is the empress and the guru. You are your own guru and your own empress. If you are a woman, if you're a man, your own emperor. Okay? That's what I had for you. Group number 2, my Cupid group. I hope you've enjoyed this. It felt very therapeutic. Hello, group 3. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this Galaxy Stone Dark Angel. I have to say a couple of things. So I had to take a water break in between the reading I did for group 2 and your group. And also, strangely enough, I found myself looking under the bed. I recently had some issues with bugs. It's like 1,000,000 degrees in the place in which I live at the moment. So this is why I'm also filming at night. But there are lots of like bugs in my neighborhood. And we're trying to deal with this issue at the moment. But I think that me looking under the bed in your case has something to do with a mother that hides something from you. That was my initial intuitive kind of hit. But let's find out. So I'm going to pull some cards from the Muse Tarot and from the Wisdom of the Oracle. to diagnose your relationship with your mother. So to try to find out what kind of mother you might have, what could be the wound. And then I will pull 2 cards. I will pull 2 cards from the Secret Language of Light and from the Divine Feminine Oracle to see what is the lesson that you need to know in this connection with your mother. So maybe the karmic lesson that you need to be aware of. And then finally I'll pull 2 I need to learn how to speak. I will pull 2 other cards from the Super Attractor and the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle to find out basically what do you need to know in terms of how your relationship with your mother is affecting your present situation. So, okay. Feel free to, have a look in the description box. It's really important to let you guys know that I recently partnered up with Visio. So as I'm shuffling these, I might as well just let you know. If you want, personalized short video responses from me, you can do so through their platform. If you're not interested in that, feel free to check out my Twin Flame novel, The Storyteller, or my meditations channel, Spiritual Soulscapes. I do try to upload there. I haven't done in a while, but I did upload this weekend a fresh new affirmations video. So yeah, use all the resources I put at your display. I do have a blog as well, The Spiritual Social, and I upload religiously every Saturday. Just finished, close to finished a tarot Saturday session on there. And also feel free to follow me on Instagram at ms.bontemp. Everything you need to know, my darlings, down in the description box below. This is especially for those of you that are new subscribers, because the other ones, they know the drill. Great. I've been spending most of my day in the sun today, and I'm very grateful for that. It's like battery for me. It's like I'm charging up. The sun always makes me feel so good and so confident and relaxed. So let me show you the cards. We have here the 9 of Inspiration. This reminds me of Blade Runner, like the Ryan Gosling version. Maybe this is significant for some of you. We have here 6 of Materials and Orphaned. Yeah. The lesson, the karmic lesson you need to learn from your relationship with your mother, Joy. And the Cosmic Egg. Congratulations. This is the Supreme Divine Feminine card in this deck. And the affirmations are: I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. Just like the universe is expanding, so you are too in this lifetime. You're learning about love, and I think a lot of you about basic forms of love, not only unconditional love. And your last 2 cards are I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. This is so awesome. I do take this as a representation of the Star card, although this is not a tarot card, but I don't know, this oracle card makes me think of the star. And we also have here Ostrich. The choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. I do feel like for a lot of you, it's hard to get into that heart space because, ba-bam. So like an ostrich, it's a very beautiful bird, one of the biggest birds that we have, but it's not really aware of its majesty because it has that weird defense mechanism where when confronted with conflict, it hides its head in the sand rather than realize what an amazing bird they are. They can reach fantastic speeds and they have some of the strongest legs in the bird kingdom. So yeah, self-worth issues, massive ones. And I think that this is related to having to put up a fight in your relationship to your mom your entire life. Why am I saying this? And as I'm saying this, I already feel my throat chakra. It's like, you know, like, don't speak, do not express, do not show the world that you are vulnerable. I'm sorry, guys, I'm trying to infuse these readings with some sort of humor as well, because we are dealing with very difficult subjects. And I think especially your pile, these are for entertainment primarily, okay? Mine are a mixture of entertaining, healing, and, you know, the Lexi show. But I do try to give you in a nugget what I see in these cards, and I do feel here that 9 of inspiration is the 9 of wands, 6 of materials is the card of, you know, 6 of coins. It's the card of generosity, but having to put up a really strong fight and feeling like you are almost done with everything. Tired, weary, exhausted. Almost you reach that, you know, that phase in your life where you're like, what's the point? What's the point of even trying anymore? There is a point. I'm here to let you know there is always a point. Or things could be pointless if this is what you choose to see. But I do think deeply that things always have a meaning, and they do have the meaning that we give them, because you are a powerful creator. But they also have an inherent meaning that sometimes escape us because we are understanding reality through our minds, and not all of us, and not even those of us that train and practice, can be so deeply in tune with spirit that we can see and know everything it knows about us. We can hint. Sorry, I went really strangely philosophical there for a second, but I do think that a lot of you could have these conversations with yourself. I think you are a very deep group, the ones that chose group 3, and you are deep because life has toughened you up to be deep. I feel like you've been on your own for a very long time. Why was I drawn to Blade Runner? In Blade Runner, I think it's 2046 or 48. That was the second installment of the movie. The main character in the movie is Ryan Gosling, and he's a robot who's not aware that he's a robot. He becomes aware as the scenery progresses, but he is aware of the fact that he is alone, okay? So this is really, really interesting. Or he becomes aware before that. I'm trying to figure out. It's very distracting in that movie because he's so good looking. The visuals are stunning. You almost kind of had to be really stoic. So I'm trying to understand how that story might apply into your case. So what I'm getting is that you had to be very stoic, you have to be very fabulous and on your own for a very long period of time. Maybe because this was that indeed you were born without the mother, or the mother died very early on. I'm getting a sense that your mother is mysterious or unknown to you. Maybe you are part of the group that was adopted, or you lived with your foster parents. Foster parents, I don't know why I pronounced it like that. Maybe some of you are a bit self-conscious about pronouncing certain words. You're very careful what you say and whom you say it with. I am getting a very strong Scorpio vibe with you, but also Capricorn. Scorpio, Capricorn, maybe even Taurus and Pisces could be part of this group. You guys were dealt a heavy hand early on in life, and it toughened you up. And I feel like you've become, you know, you are part of that group that survived. They found a way to survive, you know, instead of being thrown out on the streets and having to really, I think some of you were actually dispossessed of a home. You were thrown out on the streets and you made it, which is like all my respect to you guys. If you've been through situations of homelessness, you know, that's really, really tough. So wow, congratulations. My heart goes out to you. But I think homelessness was not only one of the traumatic things that might have happened to you. You managed to overcome them. It's like whatever life is throwing at you, you're like, I'm rising up and you've actually reached a position of stability in your life at the moment. You might be earning more than you're spending, and you might even be helping other people, financing their dreams, or helping maybe the friends that you had along the way that were not able to produce abundance in their life. You feel like you owe a debt to them. But this is about your relationship with your mother, but you're aware of the fact that the mother is not very present in this reading. And as I said, for a lot of you, it could be that you didn't know your mother. Maybe you grew up only with a dad, and your dad was your mother practically. Or, as I said, you grew up with your social parents rather than your biological mother and father. There is a sense here as well that even if you had a mother, your mother was just not nurturing, not available in a very different way than with group 2. Group 2 had kind of like a mother that was a little bit woo out there and whimsical, but it's mostly because she was very busy being amazing and the empress. In your case, this is about not wanting to know of you. Maybe this could have been a teenage mother that gave you up for adoption. Maybe, you know, for some of you, there could have been that theme of you were conceived in sin, which is such a toxic mindset, such a toxic way of thinking about relationships and about children. And, you know, I do have a very strong opinion on that, okay? So please bear with me on that one. You don't have to agree with me on it, but I do have a very strong opinion on this idea of sinning and labeling human activity as sins. But I feel like you come to terms with them. I don't know, I get this like very strong feeling of you're like a badass. I mean, the most important thing you need to learn to heal is how to love life, how to not think of it just as a burden or as something that needs to be conquered, something at which you need to succeed to prove yourself that you are worthy of a seat at the table. That if other people have pushed you aside, they didn't want you, they discarded you. I think for a lot of you, this is the primary wound. Being orphaned is that feeling of being on the outside looking in, feeling like an alien, like you never fit in. And this was primarily because your mother rejected you in some way. Either she rejected you unconsciously through the fact that she died, or she went away, she disappeared, she left. Or through the fact that she made a conscious decision and she decided, I can't raise you, or I don't want you. Parents do that sometimes. They make very tough choices. And it's important for us to take that in our strides and to understand, how can we move forward with this? How can we live with this? How can we make a life out of this that is not about self-harm and self-hate, but it's about understanding that, okay, one of the most important persons in my life did not want me, but that doesn't mean that I can't find love. That doesn't mean that I can't attract people that genuinely want me. They don't have to be blood related to you, but you can create a really beautiful family of your own. I don't see anything stopping you from achieving your dreams, from creating that beautiful family. The only thing that might stop you is fear. Fear and the understanding that something will happen and you will end up in the same position as your mother was to you. Maybe disenchanted, maybe wanting to leave, maybe, God forbid, you know, an extreme situation will intervene. I don't want to name it. So, if indeed this was becoming an orphan due to natural causes, yeah? So, it's really important to let yourself feel happiness, enjoy life, love life. It's so, so important. Joy, absolute joy. It's like, I feel like a lot of you have been blocking yourself, holding back. It's like there is a poor little me kind of victim narrative that might be going on with some of you. And I do know that this stems from extreme neglect or loss or really sad things that happened to you when you were at your most vulnerable, and they shouldn't have happened. Yes, but you have to be willing to let go of that poor little me narrative. You are a survivor. You are like, I don't know, like royalty on the spiritual scale, if you can call it like that. But to me, in my eyes, people that manage to thrive, even though they had every obstacle against them, and even though they had not known that love, that unconditional support and positive regard, and yet you made it, it's like, homie, you make my heart crumble. I'm trying not to cry, but this is amazing. You are awesome, and I see you only blooming and blossoming, you know, as you proceed forward in life, and primarily because you help other people. You understand how it is to be dispossessed, to be abandoned, to be orphaned, to be alone, and you take care of others. Make sure you don't take care of others to the point where you feel really burdened, just like I see with the 9 of Wands card, and experience this joy in your life. I'm getting a very strong feeling that for some of you, the mother could have been alcoholic as well. So it was kind of more like an emotional and spiritual orphaning that happened. It's kind of like orphaning. I'm making up words now, but the neglect, you know, the neglect might have happened because mom wasn't there, you know, like there. Even if she was physically there, she couldn't sustain you, she couldn't help you. So you learn to develop this really thick shell around you. But you need to release it. You need to share yourself with the world. And I do feel that you're sharing yourself with friends to some extent. I feel like a lot of you kind of like have a pressure valve and you're kind of choosing what to show and what to keep for yourself. And that has been a very strong survival mechanism. It brought you to the place where you are in your life at the moment. I feel that now that you've reached 1 or 2 projects or goals or realizations, you can let go a little bit and you can enjoy life. You can feel happiness. You deserve to feel happy. And I think for a lot of you, this is in an intimate connection. It's not with friends. With friends, I think that you rock. You're making it work fantastically. But I do feel that a lot of you are quite lonely. And while you enjoy your solitude and you enjoy to see everything that you've accomplished around you, it's worth opening up your heart. Do you see all this orange, yellow? It's about solar plexus and sacral chakra energy. Trust, confidence, joy. More of that in your life. Less of the worry, less of the victim mentality. No matter what you have undergone, you managed to survive it. Focus on that. Focus on, I survived. You know, I made it. Because I think a lot of you are too focused on, yeah, but I didn't have that initial sound, secure relationship. Because I think this applies to a lot of you. I mean, not even the orphan card image here, but 5, number 5 is about change, constant movement. And not to the point that group 2 had it, that it was giving them freedom and it was giving them the sense of, wow, life can be spontaneous. This is about destabilizing your emotional security, destabilizing your mental security, on and on and on and over and over and over. And if there was any abuse, I do feel that this card carries that energy as well. Know that you are worthy of tenderness and you are worthy of love. And you are this beautiful energy that is uniquely wrapped up within you. Part of the universe. You are part of the universe. The universe is part of you. We all are to some extent little nuggets of universe. And it's important to understand that you are the force that ever expands. Don't limit yourself. Don't block yourself, okay? Don't self-sabotage yourself, especially in terms of intimate partnerships. Some of you could have very strong Saturn and Scorpio. We all know that that means a fear of intimacy, very strong fear of intimacy, fear of being known, fear of trusting, fear of being vulnerable. But you can allow yourself to experience joy with another person, and the pattern that happened in the relationship with your mother does not have to repeat it. You will need to manage some very strong abandonment fears and frights that might overwhelm you. So I do suggest working with a counselor. Get a coach, get somebody to help you. You don't have to do it alone, okay? Get a healer. It's important to just set the intention, start off a relationship, and commit to healing, commit to trusting, commit to opening up, commit to, controlling that fear, putting it down, managing it, grasping it. Not yourself fully, but the fear, just the fear, facing up to the fear is going to reveal that it was just an illusion. You've got nothing to be afraid of. On the contrary, you're much better off if you just experience happiness in life. You deserve happiness more than anyone in this reading today. You deserve happiness. And you can generally be, for those of you that need to hear this, you can generally be the mother that you never had. I believe in you. You are already that nurturing person, especially for your friends, as I could see it from here with the 6 of materials. Very generous, kind hearts. So even though you might have a strong, stoic kind of facade, your heart remained pure and sensitive. And this is why you keep attracting beautiful things towards you, and this is why you kept thriving. Spirit always loved you. Spirit always has your back. Whenever you feel like, oh, you're sliding into that poor little me, I don't have that mother. Remember, Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, right? I have her here. I actually pulled the card of the day today was Gaia, Earth connection. Go out in nature, connect with spirit. Always, always, you are always loved. You will always be a child of the universe, a child of nature. For some of you, it might be hard to accept this because it's like, yeah, but I don't have a mom. Okay, Lexi, come on. Yeah, nature, great. Spirit, great. But for those of you that are deeper into this path of self-development and you genuinely understand what I'm saying, reconnect with that. And for those of you that are a bit impatient and you're like, yeah, I need a mom, you don't need a mom. You're becoming the mother you never had. That's really important to keep in mind. You are becoming the mother you never had. And you can allow yourself to express motherhood in your life, because I feel a lot of you are keeping it neatly tied up. It's like, don't show, don't trust, don't create intimacy. And you're blocking yourself from giving yourself the healing, the deep healing you need. And that healing will come in relation to your partner and in relation to your child. You will heal as you will nurture your baby, because you will embody all of the attributes of what a mother should be, and you will heal yourself. A lot of you are deeply, deeply wounded on many levels. And I think only something as powerful as raising a baby is the ultimate cure in this situation. So you've been doing great progress so far. Now it's time to open up your heart. Now it's time to commit. Now it's time to trust. And now it's time to become the mother you never had. Powerful stuff. Group 3, this was the reading that I had for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought some light, some healing. Keep in mind, these are for entertainment. So, yeah, if it didn't resonate, feel free to choose another pile. I've got 4 of them in this reading. Also, I do like to infuse my readings with a lot of humor. And the humorous part is that my battery is running low. And I still have 1 more reading to do. It's okay. Plug it and come back. But yeah, I hope to see you in my next reading, darlings. I hope this helped in some way. Bye. Hello, group 4. Welcome to this midnight healing session. I hope you will enjoy this reading. It is healing, but keep in mind this is also for entertainment purposes. I feel like with your group, I don't know why, I need to specify this from the beginning. This is for those of you that were drawn to the turquoise owl. So I'm feeling very chill today, very relaxed. I spend most of the day in the sun. That's why you have some sunflowers here as a symbol to mark that. I'm going to be pulling out cards from about 7 different decks. So bear with me. as I shuffle them. I do want to shuffle on camera. I'm just going with the flow tonight. And as I was preparing for your reading, a couple of things happened, and I think this is important for you to know. I made myself a cup of cocoa, so I felt like that's a very sweet childlike thing, especially since I'm using Nesquik. So it's kind of like, you know, very childlike things, like feeling cozy, like when your mom is making you a cup of cocoa. I also felt, I heard these words, it's like, you don't have to be, wow, you got two divine feminine oracles. Oof. It's like, I heard these words, let me just rephrase it. You don't have to have your mother be the love of your life. You can be the love of your life, or you can create the love of your life. Not sure why, but this might resonate with some of you out there. For a lot of us, you know, the love of our lives are our children when we create them. I don't know, I haven't been that lucky so far, but I think in your case, if you feel that you don't have maternal love, I don't know yet because I haven't seen your tarot cards, but if you feel like you haven't received sufficient maternal attention and love, I feel that you're kind of like maternal pioneers. You're supposed to create this. You're supposed to create the love of your life. It might not be your mother, it might not be your partner. I feel like for a lot of you who chose this group, the love of your life is going to be your child or children. So in this case, you can create more love and place it in the world, right? In physical form. Oh, beautiful cards. I'll show you the cards in a second. There is an order to the cards that I'm pulling today. The first cards I will show you are related to the form of relationship that you have with your mother. So I'll diagnose your relationship to your mother. And then the second set of cards are going to be about what is the karmic lesson that you need to take from this relationship to your mother. Sorry if that was too loud. Baby poppin'. And the final cards I'm going to show you are affirmations and divine feather oracle messages to help you with your current present situation, wherever you might find yourself at the moment in your life. There could be this relationship that you have with your mother working unconsciously, and hopefully these affirmations are going to help bring those things up to the surface so you can become more aware of them. Okay, yeah, you got a lot of divine feminine oracles. Well, you got two. A lot means two in this case. But everything else came out orderly. Order, cleanliness was another thing that crossed my mind. I went to the bathroom and I washed my hands before starting your reading. So you could have had a mother that kind of babied you and kept you at a stage of development that was very infantile for a very long period of time. So even after you reach certain developmental milestones, your mother still saw you as this ball of light that needs protection. Or she might have wanted to unconsciously block your development due to some sort of hidden jealousy, resentment. I don't think this is something she was conscious of. I think that maybe your mother needed to have worked through some of her own issues inherited from her own relationship to her own mother, so your grandmother in this case, and I don't think she did that. I think that some steps were skipped and you ended up kind of having these things projected onto you. So you might have been raised with an idea that you're very vulnerable and that you should keep being a child for as long as possible. Try not to be too adult-like, try not to be too owning your sexuality and your power. Be small, and in this way you're going to receive all the affection from your mother. We do have here the Muse of Inspiration. I do think that your mother could have been a very dominant person. I would even go so far as to say slightly domineering. This could have been an Aries, a Leo. For a lot of you, I'm getting Gemini as well. Although Geminis are not that domineering, but maybe your mother had some very strong Virgo placements, like Pluto and Virgo. We all know that Pluto and Virgo is a very domineering generation, in spite of the fact that they do not like to think of themselves as that, but very ego-driven. So I do think that there is a strong sense here that it's like your mother wanted to be number one, maybe in your father's eyes or in the eyes of the community, in the eyes of the family. When you were born, it's like you brought in a new energy. You were like the sun, you were very radiant, and you kind of eclipsed her. And a part of her, an unacknowledged part of her, I'm not saying that she intentionally did this. For some of you, it could be that she was aware of what she was doing. But for a lot of you, your mother wasn't aware of the fact that she was keeping you small in order for her to shine brighter, to outshine you. So there was this kind of like tit for tat kind of interaction that you had with her. It's kind of like you sometimes wondered, I think like you had these moments when you're like, is my mom envious on me or what, you know? Envious of me, sorry. You know, so yeah, again, see, I apologized. I feel like you were very apologetic. You had to be very apologetic in her presence, but she would never apologize to you. I'm getting a very strong narcissist vibe. Not to say that, you know, the muse of inspiration is a narcissist. She's actually the middle energy in the Wands deck. So this would be basically the Knight of Wands in this deck, but I think that, yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. You could be attracting players because your mother was a player with you, if that makes sense. Okay, so bing bada boom. This was quite enlightening, I hope. Not weird at all. But she wasn't a player in like the sexual way, like trying to coerce you, you know, into sleeping with her like a partner would. It's more like kind of telling you small white lies and kind of taking advantage of the fact that she has this power over you. It's quite, you know, powerful to mold the mind of a young person that adores you, right? So I think your mother took advantage of this. I think she is this kind of like, again, I'm not in any way judging or criticizing her. It's more like, for a lot of you, she wasn't aware she was doing this. For a lot of you, she thought, no, I'm a very dutiful, good, kind mother. Look at all the things that I'm doing for you. But even the fact that I feel like for a lot of you, she would say this to you many times. And that's kind of like to guilt trip you. It's kind of like conditional love, right? Reminding you of all the wonderful things she did for you. How are you going to answer back? You know, what are you going to do for her? At least take care of her when she'll be older, rather than to have a mother that is just like, you know, I'm doing this because I love you. You know, I don't need to remind you every time I give you a gift of look at all of the things I'm doing for you, right? So yeah, there is a sense of kind of like maybe pettiness, maybe envy between you and your mother. And I think sometimes you might have lashed out at her, she might have lashed out at you. There is a bit of, again, kind of this Gemini energy, right? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Sometimes there were good moments between the two of you, and then there were like really bad moments between the two of you. And you ended up apologizing most of the time. So that's kind of what I see with this energy. Your mother is quite strongly in her ego, okay, to say the least. Some of you could have mothers that are full-on narcissists. They are not aware of that. And others could just have a mother that is slightly more arrogant, right? Wands energy, if low vibe, can get quite arrogant, quite, I'm better than everyone else, you know, my milkshake bringle, the boys to the yard, right? So, yeah, I'm getting this vibe. Don't want to sound like mean or rude, but I do have to see it as I, you know, call it as I see it. And yeah, it's not the best energy to live with. So what is the karmic lesson that you're taking from this situation? Yeah, you got a lot of energy. So we have here Miao Shan, who is one of my favorite divine feminines in this deck. but she had a very rough life. She is called here the Princess of Mercy, and her affirmations are: giving is receiving, and the energy of the universe is merciful. She had a very tough connection to her father, who kind of used to trick her and steal from her and punish her and exclude her, up until the moment where he realized that she was just accepting and giving and loving, even though he was taking and destroying and creating obstacles for her. And ultimately he was brought down to his knees by her kindness and her consistent love. And no matter how many obstacles this person was putting on, she was always there with an open heart and forgiving and loving. And she was made a saint at the end of her life because of that. So ultimate success over her father, who ended up basically collapsing onto himself. And it was a success that was achieved without her wanting necessarily to have that success. It was just, she was doing whatever she felt her heart was telling her to do, which was to forgive, to be merciful, even after her father chopped her into bits. So there is that sense. I'm not encouraging here in any way abusive relationships just for all the sake of saintliness. No, God forbid, we need to be pragmatic, right? But there is a sense here that in your relationship to your mother, just as with group 1, I don't think you can change her. What you can do is accept her for who she is and either choose to continue to love her or choose to step back and draw healthy boundaries around you in relation to her. I don't feel that you are this kind of person that requires a lot of healthy boundaries with other people. I feel like you're quite powerful. You have Thekla here, the prophetess of true power, and I feel that this represents you, Leo Moon, Leo Sun, Leo Ascendant, a lot of you who have chosen this group. So the affirmation is: I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. So yeah, I feel like you don't need to draw healthy boundaries in relation to your friends, coworkers. You are this power. I don't know, it's like you embody it. Some of you could have Pluto right on the ascendant, Pluto in the first house. It's like you ooze power and sexuality and magnetism and mystery. And you can shapeshift to your advantage. You know, you can show the world a face that will help you survive and the face that you think that they need to see of yourself at one particular time. I feel the need to drink some of the cocoa I made for you. Feel free to join me. Make yourself comfortable, guys. I do feel like these readings are a little bit like extended therapy sessions or therapy workshops. Even though we are giving them a light positive spin, okay? So you also got the Soul Journey card, and I was just like, my eyes kept, without me even trying, they kept going towards this card because it's gorgeous. It reminds me of some of the clouds that Bob Ross is painting. I've been watching a lot of Bob Ross. I find him so soothing in this period. Some of you could be Scorpios. I did mention Leo earlier, but some of you could be Scorpio. I mean, power, Scorpio, duh. And he was a Scorpio sun as well, so Bob Ross was a Scorpio crew member. And I feel that here with Soul Journey, you are... What am I getting with this card? It's just, I see the contrast here. See? The colors are drawing me so powerfully in. This is about almost like an intimacy, a confidence that is fiery and bold. It's like fusion. Oh, I see where this is. But then you've got the blues, right? You sometimes get the blues. You sometimes get quite sad. I would even go so far as to say depressed in certain cases. Why? Well, because in contact with your mother, especially, your energy is being drained. As you can see on this card, you're colorful and powerful. In contact with her, you become gray. I feel your mother doesn't compliment you a lot. I feel like you get your compliments from other people that are generally aware of your worth, but she's not able to see your worth. And this has been the strongest karmic lesson. Mercy. You're giving to a person that just takes, when she is supposed to be the one that gives. But she's giving you very little because of her own issues. As I said, she needs to have worked on her relationship to her own mother, which I think in a lot of your cases, your grandmother could have been a model that inspired you. But, and I'm putting like this close to my heart, I do find myself in this reading quite strongly. So I do feel like we resonate strongly if you chose this group and this applies to you. You could have seen your grandmother as a very strong role model, but it hurt your mother because she didn't have such a good relationship to her. But again, instead of your mother being the bigger person, the adult in this situation, God, I don't want to sound like I'm throwing your mother under the bus. I could be projecting some of my own mother issues here. But I do think there is a case here that your mother could have been more of the bigger person. She could have understood, yeah, I have a difficult relationship to my own mother, but in relation to my daughter, I need to love her, you know, and not even I need to love her, I love her. But I feel like exactly for a lot of you, I didn't misspeak. Your mom just felt like she needs to love you, like not really feeling her role, but thinking her role, thinking through her role, if that makes sense. So soul journey, true power, and mercy. I feel like you would do well to limit your contact with your mother, but don't do what I say. But I feel like for a lot of you, if you're feeling yourself depleted, try to find out, are you feeling depleted in the presence of your mother? Because I feel like you might be. She might be feeding off of your energy. If she's a narcissist, you do know that they can be energetic vampires, right? So this is difficult. It's not easy at all because she's your mother. You want to be in contact with her, but maybe mediate it or limit how much time you spend with her. Because I do feel that for a lot of you, it's making you depressed every time you come into contact with her, and you just are seeing that she's not able to see you for who it is you really are fully, or she's taking away from your power, which is worse. It's making you feel gray and bogged down. So instead of going through these cycles of seeing your mother, being around her and feeling like your power is being taken away from you, then you're depressed and you have to self-soothe. And I do think that some of you could self-soothe in less positive ways, you know. Be careful with that, okay? Just be careful. Remember, love yourself, right? If your mother was not capable of loving you, that doesn't mean that you're not lovable. And again, remember, you are the true power. And as I said at the beginning, it fits so well, you can create the love of your life. Your mother doesn't have to be the love of your life. So don't listen to what other people say. And if it makes you sad that you see other people having like all these like, you know, Hallmark like mothers, just understand that this is the reality for not for everyone, okay? But I wouldn't go as far as to say that, you know, just for a small minority. I want to refrain myself from saying that because I don't know, first of all. So I don't want to give you like false information. But from my life experience in different cultures and having lots of different friends, I noticed that people don't have ideal relationships with their mother. And mothers in general, because of all the pressures of having to make it do on many different levels and the fact that they are women living in a patriarchal system for centuries, you know, they can be good enough mothers, right? They don't necessarily have to be Wonder Women. Some reach that status, but I do think that those are few and far in between. So yeah, careful wording there. I do feel that when you speak to your mother as well, you're very careful about how you word things because you might trigger her. And even the fact that your mother might react in a very violent or outburst of energy is kind of pointing to how she might be stealing energy away from you and stealing your power by demeaning you or making you feel like, oh, you can't handle her energy, that she is like this, but she's not willing to accept you for how you are. Okay, so let me read you again the affirmations that I have for you. Or for the first time, because I don't think I actually read to you the affirmations. So these are the final cards that are about how you can ground this knowledge of learning to overcome depression, learning to overcome low self-worth, and understanding that you are a powerful creator. You have everything within you. You are even very merciful, very kind-hearted. So you can create your own family easily. Easily, you will have people that love you, that are attracted to you, both sexually and emotionally. You just need to open up a bit. Yeah, open up a little bit. As I'm saying this to you, I'm saying this to myself as well. As I see myself very well reflected in this pile. So let me show you the Super Attractor card first. I release time and let the universe show me what to do. Don't worry so much about the future. Live in the present. I feel like this is the wisdom of this card. Do you see how she's full of pink flowers and she's resplendent green? This is about the heart chakra. Live from the heart. Do not allow your mother or people that are like your mother that you might have been attracting because you've been trying not to think of your mother in those terms. But for a lot of you, this is a wake-up call. Your mother is a person that could be taking a lot of energy away from you rather than giving you the nurturing you needed. It's really important to not let her drain you of color, of power, of energy, okay? If you find yourself drained of energy, reflect whether that happened in the presence of your mom and take the appropriate measures. Protect your energy, protect your kind heart. Stand in your power. Okay, you are more than capable of doing that. So release the worry of time. Try not to think so much about how life should be, because you would be acting from, and I have like something that's itching me here, and I could feel that some of you could get irritated quite easily, you know, like, you're telling me to live from my heart, but it's making me feel really uncomfortable. Try to discard the plan of your life. Scary, right? For a lot of you, I think this might throw you off a little bit, but think about it as an experiment. You're playing with the idea of incorporating more risk, more adventure, more fun, more spontaneity into your life. Don't protect yourself to such an extent that you might not even see your soulmate when he or she appears in your life because you're too focused on protection rather than expansion, growth, and enhancing your life. There are so many people that want you. In case you didn't know this, there are so many people that want you. Have a look around. I'm reminded of that song, you know, All Is Full of Love by Björk. It's like, all is full of love. You just ain't receiving. All is full of love. Your phone is off the hook. It's there, but it's like your horse blinkers, you know, horse blinkered. It's like, you feel that because you didn't get love from your most significant relationship, and you hold it on an ideal pedestal, and you feel that because you didn't get that kind of love, now you're doomed to not have love. But already there are so many people that love you. So many people that love you because of your power and because of your kindness. Look at these. I just noticed this white tiger and the lioness. That's badass. That's badass twice, right? So you're double badass. Get out of the clouds. Get out of your mind. Get out of depression. Do things. Explore. Live life. Your final advice card or inspiration card, Osprey. Your success is now at hand. Allow the abundance to flow to you effortlessly. I feel like, just like with me, in my case, you guys are able to create a lot of abundance in your life, but you might have blocked it, mostly because you don't know how to handle extreme joy and extreme prosperity. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself, don't self-sabotage, don't block. People love you. They want to bless you with gifts. They want to give you, they are seeking your counsel, they are seeking your advice. Allow them in. Obviously, there needs to be a certain, self-care and protective limit. But don't just no, push them all away, because you're blocking yourself from having a really rich, fantastic life full of friends and pleasure and adventures and options, explorations. A woman should always have options. That's something I learned from many years of working on my self-worth and talking to women that were far wiser and more experienced, more cultured than I was. And hopefully, slowly, I'm rising up as well to that level. And hopefully, I'm helping you guys do the same, where I'm learning from you as well as you're learning from me. That is my intention, that is my hope. If not, I just hope you guys are having fun. That is my basic hope, basically. Basic hope, basically. It's time for me to go to bed, guys. It's been a very long day. So this is the reading that I had for you. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm sending you lots of love. Sorry by my tongue twisters. I am very sleepy. And just this therapeutic sessions, I did 4 in a row because there were 4 options, got me ready for bed. I hope you are too. Okay, so in a second I'll show you your image. Take care and see you in my next one. Mwah!